Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Third Age Reforged. My name is Mighty Eskimo 6 and thank you for joining me today. Today we have a quick 2v2 for you. And yeah, this was sent in by Captain Gervais. He has the Dwarves of Erebor and he has some Ironfoot Wargoat chariots. Then we have the Ironfoot Hammer Guard. They tote my goats. Axe Guard of Erebor on his flanks, as well as some Erebor Legionaries, so very, very good. We have Ironfoot Axe Throwers and Dragon Slayers of Arid Mithrin with his general. His skirmishing line consists of 2 Ironfoot Crossbows, and his main line, is Ironfoot Pikes and Ironfoot Warriors, along with a couple of Ironfoot Halberds, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Nope, just Pikes. Over here are the halberds. Yes, I thought I saw them earlier. Yes, there are 1 unit of Ironfoot halberds, as well as 1 unit of Erebor Legionaries on this side, and 1 unit of Sons of Durin as well. We'll go over to his ally, who is the Realm of Dorwinion, led by Sin of the Dark Cloud. I think this is the first time I've seen him on my channel, so woo, yay. We have Nandor Glade Riders, Morquendi Glade Lords, Nandor Glade Rider, 2 units of Nandor Glade Riders and 1 unit of Morquendi Glade Lords. His general is the Glade Lords. Sorry. He has Morquendi Glade Masters. They're a pretty legit unit. And he has, man, I haven't done Dorwinion. I don't really know much about Dorwinion except that the Elvelen troops they're tanky peoples, and their Morquendi units are their damage dealers. So he has several Elvelen infantry, so they'll it looks like 2 units of them, so we won't, that'll hold for a while. We also have Elvelen marksmen, looks like 1 rather spread out unit of them. His front line is Elvelen Vineguard. He has several units of those, looks like 3 units of them. He has some Morquendi bows. These guys are very good at shooting and in melee, but of course they do die fairly quickly, so they're not meant for skirmishing. He actually has another unit of Elvelen marksmen up in the front, so he has 2 units of Elvelen marksmen and 1 unit of Morquendi bows. So it looks like his strategy is to use his cavalry as efficiently as possible. That's where his killing power is today. Alright, so we'll just go over to his opponent, who is Rune, led by Mango Masher. He has some Variag mercenaries, and his front line consists of Eastron Clansmen, Lok Scionrim, and Lok Gamprim. Oh, sorry, like Flagrim, Gamprim, and Clansmen. That's a lot of units to be putting into one front line right there. Just saying, it's a lot of units. Alright, then back here we have Eastron Crossbowmen, 1 unit of them. We also have the K'mul's Chosen, very good elite unit. We have the Dragon's Wrath, I'm calling it Wrath, Dragon's Wrath cannon. And we have 2 units of Eastron Horse Guard on this flank, and on this flank we have K'mul's Dragon Knights and another Eastron Horse Guard. This is where his general is, right there. And now we'll go on to the last member of Team 2. He has an interesting formation. This is the formation that this player has decided to go with. Judge him if you want. Dwarves of Erebor led by Respult. He has some 3rd Legion infantry, 4th Legion Shield Guard, and 2nd Legion Axe Guard in spread out formation. So it looks like he has 2 units of 3rd Legion infantry, 2 units of 4th Legion Shield Guard, 1 unit of 2nd Legion Axe Guard. He has 1 Ballista, 2 Sentries of Khazad-dûm, 2 Sons of the Fallen, 2 Hammers of Gundabad, 3 Orc Hunters of Khazad-dûm, and then 1 Guard of Khazad-dûm. Well, that's about it. Let's get this battle started. So let's see. I don't know where exactly what's going to go first, but actually I do think that the Dragon's Breath was firing earlier. No, it's just reforming now. Alright, so it looks like Sin of the Dark Cloud is just shuffling, just sending his Elvillain marksman down just a little bit. Oh, actually over here, the War Goats are on the move, going for a flanking maneuver, although they are going to go against stakes and the shield guard. So, oh crap. Who died? Who died? I see a handful of people that died from the cannon. And that right there is forcing Sin of the Dark Cloud to move forward. I mean, you can't just sit back and let that cannon hit you. You just can't. It's too strong. But hopefully his plan is to pin down his entire front line, which he's committed everything he has to the front line. I'm sorry, Rune. If Dorwinion can pin down this entire front line, he should have enough troops to go around and hit them in the back. But now over here it looks like we're going to have a cavalry engagement. And it looks like Rune's going to get the first charge in. Yes, very much indeed. Going against these more Quindi Nandor Glade Riders, sorry. They are very good, but as we saw earlier, that those Horse Guard just charged right in and took down a couple of them. Looks like Dorwinion knows about this and is sending more and more of his cavalry into the engage. Far off into the distance, we can see that the War Goats are close to charging in, and the ballista is firing to minimal effect. However, over here on this flank, the rest of the Horse Guard is riding out, for lack of better terms. Also, the front line is engaging and forcing the Variag mercenaries to retreat at a walk. They're not running, as in like, ooh, there goes the cannon, and it bounced. Oh my goodness, that was so cool. Actually, now the cavalry just getting in there right after the cannon just hits, and going right after those Avila marksmen. What a good way of doing it. Now the Morquendi Stalkers. Oh my goodness, I didn't notice the Morquendi Stalkers. Probably because they hide. That's, I guess, Stalkers, that's what they do. But there's 2 units of them, and yeah, that broke the Eastron Horse Guard fairly quickly. And now these guys are charging forward, trying to pin, and they do rout the other Horse Guard. Now on this flank, the Celadon River Patrol, there is some River Patrolmen there. They are there, as well as some Shadow Guard from Rune. So trying to wrap around these Vine Guard, but these Shadow Guard are not liking getting hit with the javelins, which are taking them down quite quickly. The cannon is aiming for these very powerful units. Oh, what a good hit. Oh my goodness, that has to hurt. Not a lot of them died, but enough where it does. The urgency is there where you need to get rid of that cannon. Alright, the front line. Let's just see how the front line is doing. Yeah, Rune is doing a good job of holding the front line, although they are very rigid. These Kamul Shadow Guard are getting shot point blank by these Morquendi Stalkers, and they're dropping like flies. These Shadow Guard don't have much armor, and they're not meant to take arrows. They're meant to just pop out of nowhere, kill you, and then pop back into nowhere. And now it looks like after they're getting tired of being shot at, and they're going to charge in. We'll see if that will work. Does not look like it. Over here now it looks like the Glade Lords are engaging, and it looks like they're going for the cannon, for the Dragon's Wrath cannon, and absolutely silencing it. Over here we have the goats. The chariots have joined the fight. They are shooting, and I do believe that there are some hammer guard around here somewhere. Yes, there they are. There are the goats. That has eliminated. That took care of the cannon. Now this is probably bad because this player, not doing much. There are some. Oh, routing. They were routing and they died. Um, yeah, I don't see much of these guys routing. Yeah, they're routing. Khazad-dûm's not being aggressive enough, and he's allowing Erebor to use his cavalry as he wills, basically. And now this entire front line is gonna get hit in the back by Cav. It's gonna get rear charged, and that's, I guess, the glory of Dorwinion. Dorwinion is doing a good job here, keeping these guys pinned and then charging in and out from the back, just causing death. These Morquendi bows are firing in a this-wardly direction, trying to kill the last of the Khamul's Dragon Knights. A lot of ammo wasted, I have to say. But at this rate, it looks like they're doing quite a good job. I mean, these Elvelyn infantry, these Elvelyn units don't have killing power, they just have staying power. They will tank. It's the horses and Morquendi units that really cause damage, and this is good positioning. Elvelyn marksmen getting right down the back of this front line, and it's not going to last much longer. I mean, we got more marksmen flanking. We got the Celadon River patrolmen, who, even though they're not great, they're just that's an added debuff. More troops, more pressure all around. I mean, you wouldn't want to be surrounded. So why would these guys? Now the Khamul's Chosen, they're caught out in the middle, so just some good charges by these cavalry would really just wipe them out, as well as these Ironfoot Hammer Guard. They're also doing a good job. Now look at Flagrim. They're abandoning the front and they're turning around and trying to charge into the horses, which is, I mean, you got to do something. And Rune doesn't have a lot of options left. Over here, it does look like Khazad-dûm is committing and is going to charge forward, but it looks like he's doing so very spread out. Yeah, and it looks like all of his crossbows are all of Erebor's crossbows, sorry, are firing at the hammers of Gundabad. As we have seen, many of them just fell down and died. But now they're charging right into a phalanx of pikes and spears. Of pikes and warriors, and we'll see how well it goes for them. I don't think it will go quite well. Ooh, that was a pretty good, all things considered, that was a pretty good ballista shot, and I just missed that one. Ooh, that was a good one. But yeah, definitely Khazad-dûm is charging forward, but is it too late? It is definitely probably too late to save Rune. Look at Gamprim. I've turned around. They're the ones trying to take on the horses, the cavalry force of Dorwinion and Erebor, and it looks like they're not gonna do too well. Look at Gamprim, as we can see here. They're all facing this way because they are pinned in by the Vine Guard, and there's nothing they can do about it without having a big melee debuff or a morale debuff either which way they face. And now they're breaking formation over here, which is allowing these Glade Riders to charge in and then charge out. I mean, they are dying, as you probably couldn't see underneath the name tag, but there they go. They get charged more. A little bit of friendly fire there. Now we got the Nandor Glade Guard. These guys are very good killers. And yeah, these units are routing, and that should have a morale debuff on these guys because they're right next to them. No one likes seeing their friends run away. And eventually, yeah, just one good charge here should break these shaken and wavering units. Just one good cavalry charge should break that. And over here, the War Goats are charging through the Orc Hunters, disrupting the flow of arrows. Orc Hunters of Khazad-dûm aren't going to be all that useful against the armored Dwarves of Erebor, but their infantry is definitely a lot better. The Dwarves of Khazad-dûm infantry is better than the Dwarves of Erebor infantry, but the Dwarves of Erebor also have good armor killing, as we saw with the axe throwers. They do a lot of damage to armored units, and they have the crossbows as well. So yeah, definitely a lot of of wrapping around and killing of everyone else. Yep, these Ironfoot axe throwers, the prime target to get after these shield guard. We'll stay and watch. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Every axe takes down somebody. Okay, maybe not that extreme, but it does lots of damage on these guys. Yeah, so it does look like they're trying to push through. Khazad-dûm is trying to push through Erebor, and Erebor is holding on. Erebor's holding on. 3rd Legion Infantry. Now these halberds are going to do fairly well because they are armor piercing. These Ironfoot crossbows are going to try to come around and shoot these guys in the back. And Rune is dead. Rune has given up. And now the remnants of Dorwinion, which are fairly numerous, we got some fighting to the death, but once you leave, they will rout. Yeah, so just have everyone run, and with the added infantry, there's not going to be a whole bunch that can that Khazad-dûm can do. Over here, we got the chariots charging into the artillery crew, and the best way to kill the goat chariots is with spears or with yeah, keeping them in melee really helps. They can't. Their best strength is just running in and out, running through you guys. But the best way to kill them is with spears or projectiles. That is the best way. Don't let your horses or your cavalry get involved with these guys. So chariots will just rip them to shreds. I've said that many times before. It hurts. It hurts. I don't know where the... Oh, here are the crossbows. They're not in the best position. They needed to be... I mean, they could have just moved just a little bit over to like right here, and then they could just shoot here. And then we can... They would do absolutely wonderful job. These guys could get a little bit more splash over here. The Sons of Durin actually are cleaning up over here. And Erebor Legionaries and Ironfoot Halberds are taking on the 3rd Legion Infantry fairly well. And more rear charges. Orc Hunters of Khazad-dûm are charging in, but they're not all that good in melee combat against armored dwarves. And there they go. I'm not sure if those stakes... I think the goats the chariots destroy stakes. I'm not sure. But now we have Ironfoot axe throwers turning around and probably going to engage these Orc Hunters. These Ironfoot crossbows are open. I mean, look at all these Sons of Durin. I mean, Sons of the Fallen who have fallen. Ha. Ironfoot crossbows are going to fire into these Sentries of Khazad-dûm, and the Sentries of Khazad-dûm are not going to like it. As we can see, point blank range. Actually, I think they're going after the Guards of Khazad-dûm, actually, which is probably a better use of their ammo, but either way, just crossbow bolts into this section of troops right here is absolutely devastating. More rear charges now. The Ironfoot goats are just charging in and out. Last the chariots, I think, die. The Morquendi Glade Riders have arrived, and they're trying to be cautious of these stakes. Even though they were placed by their ally, they can still hurt them. Yeah. So, looks like Erebor cleaned up over here. Just a handful of Hammers of Gundabad left. They'll be killed soon. The Morquendi Glade Stalkers and Glade Lords, looks like they're going around for the charge, helping out those Ironfoot Pikes. These Sentries of Khazad-dûm are trying to hold off the Ironfoot Hammer Guard, but the moment they turn around, they get shot in the back by Ironfoot crossbows, and then when they turn to face the Ironfoot crossbows, they get charged in the back with the Ironfoot Hammer Guard. You can't win. I mean, it's not like Napoleon where you can probably just go into form in a square. I mean, that would be really useful, but I mean, it would be a tiny square. I mean, just how big of a square? It would probably be like this big, probably, but it'd be nice. I don't think you could do it in this mod, but I don't think you could implement it. But if you could, that'd be pretty cool. Anyway, so now the Morquendi Glade Lords are trying to come in and help finish off these Orc Hunters of Khazad-dûm. We can probably just zoom in just a little bit. Guards of Khazad-dûm, that's the general of the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm. There he is right there. That's a nice sword he has there. Can I get it? Can I have one? Anyway, he's engaging, trying to help out, but it's a lost cause. I'm going to say it's a lost cause because, as we can see, 66 to 92%. There's no way that the Dwarves of Khazad-dûm can win. Orc Hunters are routing. Sentries are routing. Ironfoot crossbows are shooting into them. And it looks like just the guards of Khazad-dûm. That looks like the last little bit right here. And here's the general of the Dragon Slayers. So we do have some general on general action here. But I don't know where the general... He must have fallen. The general of Khazad-dûm has fallen, I'm calling it. And here we have the general of Erebor felling some of the remnants of the bodyguards. Here it looks like are the last two, guards of Khazad-dûm. Managing to kill one of the Dragon Slayers, but there's just too many of them. And there goes one, and there goes the other. And I think that about does it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of Third Age Reforged. So, in about 5 seconds, we're going to get the results screen. There it is. And there we have it, everyone. The number one killer of this battle was CPTgervais with 1805 kills. Followed by Sin of the Dark Cloud with 1549. Then Resplalt getting 1290. And Mango Master getting just shy of 1,000. So now, the Dragon Slayers of Arid Mithrin did 198 casualties inflicted. Sons of Durin got 156 kills. Ironfoot Halberds getting 105. Axefoot Guard of Erebor getting 113. Ironfoot Axe Throwers getting 144. Ironfoot Crossbows getting 121. And Ironfoot Chariots getting 162, and the Hammer Guard getting 296. Alright everyone, that about does it for today. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time. Take care.